All right, what's up, guys? So, I wanted to make this live stream because there's a lot of craziness going on right now with this whole idea that all of the people that went to that Trump rally are now apparently terrorists and apparently white supremacists. The media, basically, what's happening right now is the media is deciding that Trump is completely canceled. So they're just basically CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News, all of these places right now are basically honing down on this idea that Trump needs to be impeached instantly for inciting violence at the Capitol Hill protest that happened yesterday. I covered it yesterday live. I had a few you guys on here. We were having a little conversation, but most of the people there were completely peaceful. They were just standing outside, waving flags, peaceful protesting. A handful of psychos ran inside the building and started. One of them started spraying walls with fire extinguisher. The other tried to rob like a podium. Really crazy shit. And some lady ended up getting shot by Capitol Hill police. Of course, those people you can call them terrorists. That's completely fine. You can arrest them forever. That's completely fine. What they did was horrific, and they should not be. They have to be charged to the fullest extent of the law, basically. But the other people that were there, that left when the curfew came in, they were peaceful protesting, which is a right to everybody in this country. They should not be demonized at all. They have a feeling, they think the election was stolen from them, so they went to go peaceful protest. Trying to say that Donald Trump was the reason why people ran into the Capitol Hill and tried to, now they're saying they tried to stage a coup. I wouldn't say that. They ran in like psychos. I don't know what they were trying to do, but trying to say that they were going to somehow change the election results with 25 people is beyond idiotic in my mind. But trying to say that this man is the exact reason why that four people died. The one lady died inside, and then apparently three other people died after. Is beyond idiotic in my opinion. They're trying to cite that he had a rally, which he did have a big rally in D.C., and he did say, go to Capitol Hill and protest. Okay, that's completely fine. People throughout history have said, okay, go protest. Leaders have been saying that, but do any of these leaders get canceled because they say go protest and violence happens at their protests? No. This only happens to Donald Trump. This is coming from somebody that is a very big Bernie Sanders supporter and believes in things like Medicare for all and free college and complete justice reform, complete justice. I can't speak right now, but you guys get what I'm saying. So I guess you could say politically I'm more in line with the left of the country, but this is crazy. Like the way that basically Democrats right now are trying to impeach this guy because they're trying to use what happened at Capitol Hill as something that was all his fault. They're pinning all the blame on him, which is complete bullshit. And they're also trying to pin some audio recording that he had with, I think, the governor of Georgia or one of the senators of Georgia, which I also listened to him and does not mean anything at all. This is really stupid. Like, you can impeach Trump, that's completely fine. But impeach Trump on things that he should be impeached for, like when he had Saudi Arabian officials come to one of his hotels and pay like $250,000. Like, that makes no sense. Or like when he enacted the extremely racist Muslim ban. That's something you impeach this guy for. You don't impeach this guy because he had a rally, told people to go protest, and some of the protesters got violent. He can't control that. He was literally on Twitter the entire time saying, go home, please, stop, be peaceful. Like, we were covering this in the video. You can go check the video out that we made the other day, and you could see me going through the tweets and literally reading them to you. You could read them yourself before Twitter decided, okay, we're going to ban this. So he said twice, go home, be peaceful, don't attack anybody, don't attack the law enforcement. Then he made a video. Then he posted an actual response video, which was like, listen, you have to go home. The election was, in his opinion, the election was fraudulent, blah, 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 all his talking points, but you have to go home. You have to stay peaceful. So Twitter then decides, okay, we're going to now ban this dude for 12 hours because we don't like what he said. So because Twitter doesn't like what they don't like what he posted, they decide, all right, we're going to take the tweets down that had no offense whatsoever, and then we're going to ban him for 12 hours. And then Facebook follows. and then Instagram follows. Well, Facebook owns Instagram, so that makes sense. And then Snapchat follows. So basically, it's like the snowballing effect of the canceling, like taking place right before your eyes. Like one group, one fucking big tech owned extreme left group, Twitter, decides, okay, we're gonna ban him. Now, I have a problem with that in a whole. There's a whole other topic. They should not be. They should not choose who they can ban and what they can delete. That's, in my opinion, a complete violation of our privacy, especially because now of our freedom of speech as well. Because now Twitter is basically where people go to talk. Like, it's basically a huge, gigantic town square now for the internet. And them deciding, okay, we're going to delete this, we're going to flag this, we're going to do that is crazy. So you can't post conspiracy theory anymore. You can't question your government anymore. That can't happen because now Twitter's going to decide to shut it down, and Facebook's going to follow suit, and all the big tech companies that are fucking owned by a Democratic Party are going to follow suit. Like, that's honestly, in my opinion, completely ridiculous. But that's a whole nother topic that you can go on and on about for hours. But anyway, so that happens, and all you see basically on all the news articles, on all of the TV stations, are that Trump incited violence. Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump did this. Should he be impeached now? Blah, 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 blah. The impeachment thing on the side of the Democrats is genius. Why? Because if he gets impeached, he can't run again. And the Democrats know Republicans don't like this motherfucker either. All the corporate Republicans hate him. So they will go along with his impeachment. Like, it's a genius thing to do. They basically got everybody, including the media, to just start spewing all this craziness yesterday. So then today they can go, oh, now we're going to have a vote on impeachment. Meanwhile, in the background, one of the Democrats already shot down $2,000 check. So it's like this is what happens. They pick and choose when to do things, and in this case it's smart for them, but it's completely wrong in every standard. There have been way more things that Trump has done that he should be impeached for. Not this. This is not one of them. And if this sets a standard, then how are people ever going to protest ever again? You basically can't have a figure. You can't have a leader because they're going to get shut down. If this is okay, or is this just a left attempt to shut the right down again? Because all that's going to do is piss everybody on the right off, to the point where now you're not going to get the next Trump that happens is going to be way worse than Trump. They're going to be way worse because this is what happens. Our people don't believe in, a lot of our people, half of them apparently, don't believe in the election results. So instead of putting more people at ease by just going, all right, signature verification, something really easy that should be able to that our state should be able to do, just do it. Really quick. This should have happened months ago. Just do it. Release the data, and then people will be more at ease. Be like, all right, so here's the data. Here are people. Here are the people that voted. Here are their signatures. Right. Oh, this might be coming in a little hot. Hold on, my bad, guys. I'm gonna lower this because I'm screaming here. All right, that should be a little better. I'm seeing red on this. Anyway, so yeah, so if they did something like that, or another measure that just put more people at ease, then things like this wouldn't happen. Trump can sit there and tout election fraud until the fucking cows come home and the sheep sleep and whatever stupid saying you want to say, but he would look dumb, because we would have actual data, but they don't give you data. Partly because they fucking throw out the signatures, but that's a whole nother issue that's completely stupid and it makes no sense. But they don't show you data. They just say sit down and shut up. So when they say things like that, people start getting pissed. And now you have Trump, who really believes in his fucking soul that he was robbed. He 100% believes it. Regardless if it's true or not, Trump thinks he was robbed from the presidency. So now he's telling his supporters that. Now his supporters think that too. Probably a lot of them also think that because Trump just said it, so they're probably just going off what he said. But regardless, people really believe it. 80 million people could possibly think the election was stolen. 50 million people, I don't know the number, but a lot of people think it was stolen. So they went to go protest for a cause. They had a cause. I can go outside right now and I can go protest down the street and stand in the street or on the corner and just protest the sky. I think it's green. I can protest it because that's my right as an American. We can protest. We have freedom of speech. We can protest. We can peacefully protest. The second that it gets violent, you send in the cops, right? The cops come and they break it up because it's getting violent. This is crazy. We don't condone that. But what happened? What happened yesterday in Capitol Hill? What happened? The cops were taking selfies with the people in the building. There's videos of cops inside the building taking selfies with these terrorists that ran inside, right? These people ran inside. The people that should be arrested ran inside, and the cops were sitting there taking fucking pictures with them, right? And it's like a very calm scene. Does that not seem suspicious at all? Does that not seem suspicious? Is it really that wrong to think that they just let them the fuck in? This is the Capitol building. This is in D.C. These fucking places should be guarded. Like there should be security everywhere. But there were reports of cops running away and cops literally videos too of them taking selfies and being all chitty chatty with the rioters, which makes no sense whatsoever. So people on Twitter, like people are saying, and on the internet, oh, was this staged? But no, they're getting shut down instantly. They say anyone who says that, they're getting shat on. They're getting shut down. They're getting demonized, whatever. But is that really that hard of a thing to like believe? Why would cops be taking selfies with these people when they should be getting them the fuck out? It makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. And then you see, and then there's other things too. Like you'll see like people like, oh, comparing this event to the Black Lives Matter marches and all the riots that happened. Like there's a picture going around of like National Guard standing around the Capitol building, standing there, and they're like, oh, because this is for the BLM movement that this happens, but then they let these other people just in the building. But you have to understand though, those marches that happened before, a lot of them were like Facebook groups that people like organized. So like they had a heads up. This shit broke off quick from Trump's rally, literally down the block, and they literally just went there. Like nobody had time to prepare for this. I'm sure if they did, there would be way more. You would hope so. You'd hope there'd be more National Guard there, but the way our government handled this is disgusting. And then the media picked it up and they put the blame on Trump. That's exactly what happened. And like you could blame Trump for a lot of shit. You could blame him for a lot of stupid shit he does and says completely. And he should be impeached for a lot of things he does. But in this situation, if you can't see the Democrats are only doing this so that they can get him removed from office so he doesn't run again because he's a threat to them, then you're blind. You're completely blind. You're lying. Your eyes are lying to you is basically what's happening. Because I watched this shit yesterday. I did a live stream. You could check the video out, and majority of the people there were just standing there. And then as the night went on, people left, especially after Trump started telling them to leave, which I give him props for because he had to do that. Leave, and they left. Like, that's what happened. But people took it into their own power, crazy people, to run inside. Arguably, you could say they got let inside, but they ran in the fucking building, and they got into the chambers. That should never happen in this country. There's people waving Confederate flags inside our Capitol. That's a Capitol building. That's sick. That's sickening. But you wouldn't if you're just watching TV, you would think, wow, this guy needs to be put in jail. You need to arrest Trump because they're like taking clips and they're taking things he says completely out of context. And they're just showing you what they want to show you, which is what they always do. They did this to Bernie Sanders during the DNC and the Democratic primary in 2016, and they somewhat did it a little more legally in 2020, where they all decided to drop out one night and just fucking support Joe Biden, who had no support whatsoever. Horrible shit. But I remember back in 2016, people were like, "We're going to the DNC and we're gonna go fucking protest," and that was completely fine. So if we all went to the DNC, right? And we went to protest, and 35 people ran inside like psychos, would we all be demonized? Would we all be demonized as terrorists? I don't think so. This is only because the left in this country, the media in this country, and people who literally just eat Twitter all day long, they're just on Twitter, and they think that's the whole fucking world, think that that are demonizing this guy, and that's not the reality of the case. Like, you have to be completely objective. Like, I think of myself as, like I said before, Bernie Sanders supporter left, but honestly, it's more like independent because I don't agree with Bernie Sanders either. Like, when you put posts up saying this is the most dangerous president in the history of the United States, And you're talking about Trump. I go, huh. I think about that and I go, okay, so do we forget about how George Bush sent us into a 25 plus year war in the Middle East, countless lives dead for no reason, trillions of dollars spent? Or how he enacted the Patriot Act, one of the worst things on our privacy, invasion of our fucking privacy ever happened? Do we forget about that? Because now everybody apparently loves George Bush. None of this makes any sense. It really pisses me off, and it should not be going down like this. But that's the nature of what's happening, and there's a very good chance this fucking guy's gonna get impeached. And I'm gonna say it again. I don't think it's right, but if you want to justify it by saying he should have been impeached before for doing the Muslim ban and doing the and allowing Saudi Arabian officials to like funnel money through his hotels and stupid shit like that, then yes, he should be impeached. But I don't think he should be impeached for this. I just think this is the Democratic Party sending out their fucking their feelers to all the people they own, like all the big tech and all the media, and they're basically just impeaching him so they don't have to deal with him later, which is genius for them because it is a temporary fix. But there's going to be a worse Trump now. There's going to be a worse Trump. It's going to happen, and it sucks to say because we want to, like, in this country, you want to be able to. You don't want to go backwards. Like we want to progress as people. Like we want to be more open about everything, and we want more. We don't want our rights being taken away, but we want more like equality for everybody. We want more better jobs for everybody. We want a better earth for everybody. You know, like these are things that we learn, we grow, we invent more technology that gets us to our goal. Do you ever see the like it's not heaven, but it's like what could be, and it's a futuristic society. Like that's where we're trying to get, like as a whole nation, and having a second Trump that's worse is going to throw us so back. But it's better than in the end of all of this, Trump bad. That was the whole point of this whole thing. Trump is bad. No matter what happens, that's what they want you to know. Trump is bad. Don't worry about what we do behind the curtain. Don't worry about what we do. Trump is bad. Joe Biden was out campaigning saying that if the two Democrats beat Purdue and Lawfully, I forget her name, but if they beat them, which they did, then $2,000 checks are going out. Literally, you have Democrats right now coming out saying that's not happening. So, is it beginning already? We're gonna see. But yeah, I'm sorry guys, I had to come on here and rant because this just bothered the hell out of me. Like and subscribe, please. Check out our podcasts. I'm sure this conversation is going to come up with the guys, and I'm sure there's other opinions. I'm not the only opinion on this channel. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. And